Very good morning. I'm Shilpa and I welcome you all again to the CIET NCERT live phone-in program. In this session, we shall discuss about some common errors we make in English and how to correct them. And this session is particularly for class 5th, and with us we have Dr. Meena Shehrawat from District Institute for Education and Training, Ghumanhera, New Delhi. I welcome you, Dr. Meena.
Thank you Shilpa, and a very warm good morning to all our viewers.
Thank you. And yes, and to the viewers, if you come across any questions related to our today's topic of discussion, then do not forget to call on our toll-free numbers. Numbers are 1800111265 and 1800112199. You can also send your questions on our official email ID ciet.kishoremanch@gmail.com. Moreover, you can comment your question during our YouTube live streaming which is happening now, and our official YouTube channel is NCERT Official. Dr. Meena, over to you. Please do tell us. Yep.
Thank you Shilpa. Okay. So today our topic is common errors. But before starting that, I just want to ask you, is there any difference between errors and mistakes, or they are the same thing? Yes. Yes. There is some difference between errors and mistakes. Mistakes are generally the sloppy ones that we know, but sometimes unknowingly, unconsciously we do that. But errors are something which we do come across, but we are really not aware how to correct them. It means, error means somewhat lack of knowledge, and mistakes means we know that, but as we say, by mistake or unknowingly, and they are sloppy mistakes. But the thing is that mistakes are part of our life. We all make mistakes. We can either benefit from our mistakes or we can run from them and pretend they don't exist. You can read thousands of books about swimming, watch thousands of videos about swimming lessons, but can you really learn to swim if you are not going to try that in the pool? Similarly, you can think of some of the most common things you have learned in your life. It could be walking, cycling, cooking, dancing, anything. Have you learned all those things without committing any mistakes? Or I can say that we should really thank to our initial mistakes, because when you began to learn to cycle, you must have fallen many times. And instead of being discouraged by each fall, you got every time. Learn from your mistakes and then you tried again. It means to act is one of the most important parts of our learning process, and that learning process may be walking, cycling, cooking, dancing, or learning English. So after all, everything you get to learn in life, you learn by doing. So the first thing is, we are not going to hesitate about our mistakes, or we are not going to be afraid of our mistakes, but it's important to reflect on practices, because you can apply that in your life and use your mistakes as a tool for personal and professional growth. Now, we are going to see some of our mistakes that we do, and I'm going to share that with you in the slides. So today what we are going to talk about first, so let's have some, yes, the common mistakes in English and some mistakes made by the students and how to overcome these mistakes. Then we are going to talk about some tips to improve it and few activities. So the first thing which we are going to take is lose and lose. And you have heard people saying, I don't want to lose the job. Isn't that correct? No. There's a difference between the lose, and that's the lose is, as you can see in the picture, not firmly or tightly fixed in place. Whereas lose is you win or lose. It means to deprive of to have anything or to have something. So here I can say that the lid of the container is loose and I don't want to lose it. So, though they sound same, but there is a difference between these two things. So, how we are going to learn is we can make some associations with that. And for example, when it comes to loose, you can think of a person who is fat or who is thin, and the image comes to your mind. So there are small things, small and little difference between them, but still we have to keep that in mind. Another thing which we are going to take, which we have generally seen our students, and the things today which we are discussing, Shilpa, are the things which we have noticed in our classroom. That what sort of mistakes we generally do in the classroom. So we have tried to close those, and then we want to clarify those things to our students, and also we are going to share these things with our teachers, some of the tips that how we can overcome these. So another one which students generally make mistake, I should say, and sometimes also error, they may not be knowing. So it is among and between. For example, they generally say, she could not decide among the two dresses. And if here we have mentioned among with red, it means this word is not appropriate over here. Because we use between when we are comparing or involving only two things, two choices. But if the choices are more than two, it means there are three or more choices, then we use among. But in the first sentence you can see the girl is trying to choose between the two dresses, but she has used among. So what we are supposed to use there is, what we are going to use, Shilpa?
In which particular sentence you are asking?
The first one, which one is incorrect? So we are supposed to use there between because there are only two dresses. Similarly, we can look for some other examples. For example, they had to choose the winner between the red and the blue team. Why between? Because there are only two teams. One is the red team and another one is the blue team. But if the teams are more than three, then we are going to use the among. See the another sentence. They had to choose the winner among the 5 competing teams. It means there are 5, they are not 2, they are more than 3. And similarly, you can see in the diagrams, the umbrella is shared between 2. But in the another picture, we can see that it is shared among the 3. And you know, we often make mistakes in using see, look and watch.
Dr. Meena, related to your previous slide, we have received questions from the viewers. Miss Manya Sharma and Anjana Verma, they both are saying if we are using among, that means that's for 3 people, and between, if we are using, that's for 2 people.
2 people, very rightly, very rightly.
Okay.
Thank you.
What's the next words we are going to learn?
Yeah, next is see, look and watch. You know what happens? We generally consider, Shilpa, that mistakes are, sometimes we think that the students who are doing mistakes are not having the positive role in that. We generally see that mistakes means they are not learning, and they are making mistakes means that's a sign of failure. But to these people, mistakes are a sign of learning. And one of the beautiful things which I do in my classroom is I also go for my favorite note. Can you imagine my favorite note? People generally say my favorite, yes. But I call it my favorite note when I really find that some students, and generally students make mistakes, but the mistake that makes us to learn something new becomes my favorite note. So what happened in my class, I saw a girl, she said, I like to see children playing in the garden. Then this sentence became my favorite no, because now I got to know that now we are going to discuss that where to use the see, look and watch. Maybe if she would have not said the sentence, we may have not seen the nitty-gritties of these two these three things, and what are the difference between these things. So, my favorite no is a very good activity, and teachers should also try for that. That we always generally praise the good things, reinforce that, but sometimes even mistakes can help us to learn new things. So in this case, I really use this sentence to see the difference between the three. So the first thing is, when we talk about see, it means you see naturally without thinking about it. You may be seeing the things, but you are not really looking at that or really observing them. And when we talk about look, it means we are focused, more focused. It means to look at something for a reason, for a purpose. And there's also a difference between watch. We use watch usually when we look at something for a period of time, especially something that is changing or moving. That's why we generally say, we don't say we see television. What we say, we watch
television.
And that's why the girl has used, I like to see children playing in the garden. Because children are playing, it means their position is changing, they are moving. So the most appropriate word here will be watch. So what is the correct sentence? I like to watch children playing in the garden. It means if the child would have not made this mistake, maybe we would have not discussed in detail about the use of see, look and watch. So sometimes you can also try this as a teacher and parents, my favorite look. Because some of the things can really give you insight to learn new things. So you can see that in the examples, you can see that side. Because she is generally not looking at that, not seeing that, so someone is pointing and want her to see that side. Another one is, I am looking for my car keys. The person who is looking for the car keys is focused. What he is looking for? Car keys. So, instead of using see here or watch here, we are going to use look. And another sentence says, we watch television every evening. Why watch television? Because it's changing, the scenes are moving, the picture is changing, so we watch television every evening. Hope this is clear to all my viewers. Now going towards the next slide.
Dr. Meena, before you proceed, Miss Aliza, Krishna and Medley, they all are saying that if you could just assign them a kind of task related to what you are teaching, so they'll be able to participate. So maybe if you could just give one sentence to work on simultaneously during our program, they'll answer.
Okay. We will come to, I have a special worksheet for them, and then we are expecting that they are going to answer in the chat box.
Okay.
So that we have planned for them. Let's wait a bit, then we'll be coming to them.
So to the viewers, be patient. We have some worksheet for you to work on. We'll be right back to you. Yes, Dr.
Sure. So, Shilpa, you would have also seen the students generally make mistakes between stationery and stationery. And they are not aware that which stationery they are using when they go to the shop to buy some paper or writing material or anything related to that. So here, though there is no as such formula, but what I discuss with my students is, you can see that in station there is one difference. At one place it's NARY and at another one it's NER. So I just give them a general tip, and that is, in pen we use E. So the stationery is with E where you will go and buy a pen. So that little bit association we try to make. There are no such rules which you can find somewhere in the book or somewhere else. So the another thing is, we can also help them with some association. That association can be visual. That association can be, I can say, related to some of the tips, or the teacher generated some skills or some tips. So here, as we can show with the example, that the box will remain stationary if you don't push. It means here stationary is something stable, not moving. And I am going to the stationery shop to buy a pen, and the pen has E, and the stationery shop is also will be having E in that. So there are some of the small associations. And in the next slides, we see it's beside and besides. And I have seen our learners making this sort of mistakes because when they have written as, they sometimes themselves don't observe that, but they do write as. But when we avoid as or when we add as, that means a lot of difference. Because when we write only beside, it means next to. You can see in the picture, Jojo is beside her. But when we add as, it means in addition to. In addition to. It means Jojo has many friends besides her. So these sort of examples will give them the clarity, and even they will be, sometimes you know what happens, Shilpa, when the word comes to their mind, and if you have shown them some visuals or when you have given them some tips, that automatically comes to their mind, and then they start reconnecting that or remembering that, recalling that yes, it was something like that. So we can help them with such small visuals and others. You would have also seen, Shilpa, people often make, especially our small children, often make mistakes between weather and rain. Have you seen?
Yes.
Yeah. So, generally people say, if the weather is good, we can go for a walk. It means, as in the visual they can see, weather is related to the atmosphere at a particular place. It could be raining, it may be sunny, it may be cloudy. But whether this or this, you can see the girl is trying to make a choice, this or this. It means she is expressing a doubt or choice between two alternatives. So, with the help of such things, we can explain them that the forecast is brighter weather after days of rain, or it seems undecided whether to go or stay. It means such things will help them to understand that though there is only difference in a letter, but the meaning totally changes. So we have to be focused on that thing, because you know what happens, Shilpa? Generally what happens, if we keep on moving and we don't try to correct our mistakes, then they get fixed in our mind. And sometimes what happens, it is easy to learn the things but very difficult to unlearn them. So before it gets fixed in our mind, we need that at some point of time we should really come back, or we should, the mistakes or the errors which we are committing should really be addressed. And then it depends upon a strategy. Sometimes we may ask our students to reflect that. Sometimes we can ask for the peer correction, or it can be done by the teachers or any adults like parents or any sibling in their family. Yes, I have seen students also making mistakes between there, and there. Though the first there is generally used for a place. The second there with THEIR refers possession, it means something belongs to them. And the third one is a contraction, that it means they are. It means they are the three things, so they cannot be used everywhere. So every item has to be used as per the context. For example, you can see the first sentence, parents work for their children. And again, as I said, the teacher creates their own tips. So one of the tips I create here is that when the here is there after the T, you can see after T it's HERE, and here means yaha, and if that here comes after T, it means one. So that's a simple thing to make them understand that it is something related to here and there. So here the students can really think of such small things, and then they can replace this with THEIR and correct the sentence saying parents work for their children. And we can see some more examples, like children are playing with their toys. There are many shops. they are going to Delhi. And in the last sentence, you can see Shilpa, we have tried to use all the three things in a single sentence. It is, they are there with
With
their
their
friends.
friends. Yeah.
It means this shows that everywhere has some different meaning. Otherwise, we cannot repeat the same word again and again. So they are there with their friends. This example can help us to understand that everywhere has some different meaning and it should be used appropriately, especially when students write, they make these mistakes in writing. So, and maybe sometimes it's really mistakes, but maybe it's an error. So, as a teacher, we really need to sometimes discuss these issues and clarify the students, and it will be also good for those who know that it will be like a recap for them. So, time and again, as a teacher, we may focus on such small things also, but not specifically. As today we are doing a specific session on that, but in a class we really don't need to take all the things all together. We can keep those things in our mind, and as and when we see that students are making mistakes, then we can focus on them. We are not supposed to take one special class on only identifying error and how to avoid it. It's not necessary. Because then they'll find, because students may find that as a burden on them. Only discussing errors. Next, generally mistakes which we also you would have noticed is 40. Because you know, when they talk about 4, so it's FOUR. But when it comes to 40, they generally write TY after 4. So again, we have to only give some attention and make them understand and observe that no, you cannot write in that way. The correct form of writing is FORT. So only we have to pinpoint some things and they'll understand, and many of them will keep that in mind. And yes, if you can have a day, for example, in a week or fortnightly, now you can give them a worksheet to or based on some common errors or mistakes, and you can ask them, as one of our viewers was also asking. That's a good idea. Instead of again and again revising, we can do that. And one good thing is when you will collect back the worksheet, you can really analyze what are the errors which our students are making again and again. And when we find that yes, there are some errors which are repeatedly being done by our students, it means in our next lesson, somewhere I have to focus on these errors. It means they are not as clear as you are expecting. So that will give you an insight that what are the things which you really need to focus on. Then, people often confuse between fasting and starving. And I have one of my students wrote, people are fasting due to joy. But nobody fasts due to joy. So the thing is, they should understand what's the difference between them. Because fasting is voluntarily and controlled. And we generally fast during Ramadan and also during Navratra. It means that's voluntarily and we are controlling it. But starving is forced, not something you choose to do. So, you know what happens? Generally, when I have seen that one of the students use this in another way, and the other students love it, that child. So, that also is a very key thing which we as a teacher should understand, and that is when we find students laughing at each other, it means that the one who has used that in the wrong way will be discouraged or demoted. But as a teacher, we are going to focus on that and we'll make them understand that mistakes is not something which no one does. Even it's not only in the learning process. Right? When we started, we talked about that. We do mistakes in our all spheres of life, even when we are learning to walk, cycling, swimming, dancing. So we do mistakes. And suppose you find anyone who is laughing, then ask our students to make it a point, okay, let them laugh. And after that, ask them that, okay, now please correct me and explain me what should you do next week. So that's a good thing. Let them also explain instead of laughing and moving away or moving on. So we can again help them to use that in the sentence like fasting is one of the oldest therapies in medicine, and especially the Ayurveda. We go for fasting in Ayurveda. And starve, he starved to death. Nobody fasts to death. Yeah. So they'll be able to understand such things, and what we as a teacher are supposed to focus is how we are going to do this. Now, before going for other things, I just want that we should focus on some of the things that when and how should you correct your students. Fine? So I am going to discuss how we are going to focus on our mistakes. I just want to plug this on.
And to the viewers, you can also watch our this session on Jio TV App. And also you can dial into our toll-free number to raise your queries, and also you can send your questions on our official email ID. Dr. Meena, are you ready? Yes. Dr. Meena, we cannot hear you, but meanwhile those viewers are asking what we are talking on. We are talking on some common errors we do make in our daily course, particularly in English language, and how to correct them. And with us we have Dr. Meena Shehrawat from District Institute for Education and Training. And to the viewers who are coming across any kind of question can dial into our toll-free numbers. Numbers are 1800 111 and 1800 You can also send your questions on our official email ID ciet.kishoremanch@gmail.com. Moreover, you can comment your question during our YouTube live streaming which is happening now, and our official YouTube channel is NCERT official, and also you can watch this session on our Kishore Manch mobile application. Dr. Shehrawat, you there? And with this, we have come to the end of our session. And what we have learned some common errors we make in English language in our usual basis. And thank you to Dr. Meena for being with us. And in the next session, we will talk on developing number sense for class first. And those viewers who still have any queries, do not forget to send their questions on our official email ID ciet.kishoremanch@gmail.com. So be with us. We will be back after a short while.